Hi guys, happy Wednesday.
Hello.
Halfway through the work week, Colton Bradford.
Jackie Bruno, and guys, we have Howie D from the Backstreet Boys today. We are so excited to have you here.
Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate
Some of us more than others, but no, you're excited too.
I'm not gonna lie, I rolled in and she had her arms full of stuff and I was like, what is this?
I love it.
What I'll do? And it's all Backstreet Boys
I
paraphernalia.
love it.
Should I bring it out?
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
oh wow.
This is a custom framed collection of some of my memorabilia. I don't want the. There we go.
I am quite impressed. Is that silly string there?
That says
that some
love
confetti?
Howie
What is
D.
that?
Confetti, love Howie D. Right
love it.
there. We got some confetti. You know, this was from the 92 Pro FM in Providence because that's where I lived a little closer to.
What year is this from? Do we know?
I think 17 something. Doesn't look like the Declaration of Independence.
Right.
I mean, it's weathered a little
like
bit.
going with this guy here.
It's actually 1998, 1999 concerts, and this one. There were more, but some of my stuff has gone missing. But I do have still my program books.
I love it.
I mean, this is.
I love it.
What order?
That's
this
old
is black
school.
and blue, so that's a
Yeah.
little bit
So that's-
later.
Yep.
One of these, which one came first? Do you remember?
That, I believe.
Original?
That one had come first, I think.
I mean, this is like Quit Playing Games with My Heart
Yeah.
stuff.
See,
old
I'm
school stuff there.
actually a big fan of this one.
I mean, we were
That
joking.
one I think was. I think that's the Millennium. I think.
Yeah.
Millennium. And like, when did you guys think this was a good idea?
I don't know. I still don't know if
Can we
it was a
like
good idea.
see that
That's for
there
sure.
are satin white outfits?
Yeah.
But
like
Howie,
silk pajamas.
you still made it look good.
Yeah, I don't know what I was doing. I had some crazy hair going on back in those days. My wife got a hold of me, made me chop it all off, and that was probably the best thing that could have happened.
Is she telling you about skincare too? Because you all have aged very well in the
Thank
group.
you.
I mean, like
Yeah,
they all look good, but
she tells me to wash my face and use some moisturizer.
Yeah, is that all you
She's
do?
been gone for a couple of days now, so it's probably looking a little haggard right now, but she was out on the road with me. I had the wife and the kids out for 3 months. It's not like my best. Now I'm still like,
I will
rest
tell
of the
you,
weary.
in the email chain that we have going on that you're going to be here, one of our producers, I won't say who.
We won't say who.
I won't say who, but she was like, wow, what's his skincare routine?
Yes, we were wondering.
I'm very blessed. I think hopefully the Latin genes of my mom's side, the olive skin, and just taking care of it.
We should also mention too, if you're watching on Facebook Live right now, chime in with questions for Howie D from the Backstreet Boys.
Comments.
Yeah.
If you think he looks like he's still 25, feel
Or
free
if
to
I
tell
look really
us
tired
too.
right now this early this morning, it's fine as well.
What is your favorite Backstreet Boys memory? I know you have.
Oh my goodness,
Clearly
well-
got several.
Well, I was at one concert. I think it was the Larger Than Life tour when you guys were flying out into the stadium. Like we were at the TD Garden, and you were flying out.
Surfboards, or were we? Was that that was probably the next one. That was.
Or maybe it was another one. Well, anyway, so you guys were flying into the audience, and Kevin came directly towards me, maybe a little to my right. I had to push my mother over, and I might have trampled her. She still has not forgiven me for it to this
She
day.
won't go to concerts with her now.
This might be why I could not find my Backstreet Boys board game overnight.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, that was a pretty funny memory. Another memory of my meeting you with my cousin when I was in college, because I was a child earlier. Then I met you when I was in college, and I was very excited to tell you guys I was 21. But someone told me, "Oh, how old are you?" I told them my age, and they said, "Oh, well, you've been a fan since Quit Playing Games with My Heart came out. Wow, you were 11 back then." And I was like, "I'm still a child."
Yes, I know. That's when we start feeling really old when we start hearing those numbers at that point. Because I was probably like 72 when you were 21 at that point.
But you're still on top of it. I mean, you are the concert tonight. We're going to it at the TD Garden tonight. How excited are you?
I'm stoked. You have no idea.
Thank
this
you.
one right here is like we already looked at the set list. We're ready to get down to it.
Right on.
Get Down. It
Oh, yeah.
better be on there.
It's gonna be there for
One
sure.
of our favorite songs. We feel like it's underappreciated.
You know what it was? Well, it was. I think it was never properly. I think released in the States, if I recall correctly. I think it was released over in Europe, but
It's the red one, right?
Yes, the
I
imports
do
that came
have that
over
as
is how
well.
the fans got them. And but yeah, you're right. It didn't probably get the light that it should have gotten here in the States. But we rock it out on every show every night, though.
I think you guys could release, a remix, and maybe it could make the top 10 now.
You know, I've been always wanted to do that song. Get down, get down.
Oh yeah.
Get down, get down.
Yeah.
I've been trying
a
to mix
remix
that in with that.
That would be good.
Right?
Just, some ideas for tonight.
Okay.
Now,
I'll talk to the guys.
You have a lot going on outside of just the Backstreet Boys, right? You have your own solo projects happening.
Yeah, actually, all the guys we're just really cool with each other, just working on individual stuff. There's no animosity. We always believe that timing is there for everything, and we allow each other to spread our wings. And I feel like we actually, you know, a lot of fans back in the past would be like, oh my God, if they're doing something individually, it must be they're breaking up. But now after 26 years, I think they know we're not going anywhere.
You guys are family.
We're family. We allow each other to spread the wings, and you know, we feel like when we are out there doing something on our own, it only brings us stronger to the table when we come back to the group.
Yeah.
So I've been working on this little family CD, not this one here.
Not this one here.
But different family. But I've been working on this little family project that I started about 5 years ago. It started one day when I just came to the realization I was just not connecting with my son when he was 5 years old with the music that was out there. I just really was like, I don't understand. It's a bunch of rubbish.
Yeah.
And there was lots of great movies. I've told the story 1,000 times. There was lots of great movies like, you know, the Toy Stories, the Wreck-It Ralphs, the Minions, all those great things where the animated movies, they were able to capture that audience for the adults and kids. But I couldn't find anything with the music. So I got together with a couple of writers one day because I looked out an audience and I was like, finally this solidified. It was when I looked out an audience and I saw all these fans that were teenagers, like you're probably yourself, that are now, you know, adults,
Moms.
bringing kids to our shows. And I'm like, why not give music to both generations? Because actually, believe it or not, on a Backstreet concert, we have anywhere from 2 to 3 to 4 generations out there.
That is crazy.
And so yeah, my youngest son at the time, he was 5. He inspired me to make the CD. I got together with a couple of great writers out of New York, a guy named Tor Hyam and Lisa St. Lou. And we wrote loosely based around my life issues that I grew up with, everything from being shy to worrying, to being height challenged, to being a song called No Hablo Español about my mom being Spanish, my dad Irish, Scottish American. But as a kid, I never grew up speaking Spanish, but always got assumed I was Spanish, just the way I look.
Just the way you look. And this called Which One Am I?
Yes.
And No Hablo Español. Is that your son in the music video?
That is my son and my mother. So it's awesome. I had 3 generations in that video.
The
That is
apple did
awesome.
not fall far from the tree.
It was either that
Thank
or
you, man.
epic
Yeah.
casting. 'Cause he looks
Thank
just
you.
like you.
Thank you. He's my little
Adorable.
mini me. Thank you.
Do you think we could see a Backstreet Boys next generation with all the kids? Does he have musical talent?
You know what? You never know. He's definitely, he's got the bug. Ever since he was a little kid, he's always been, you know, following dad and on tour and stuff like that. I mean, he started at, oh my God, 6 months going with us over to Europe. And so he's grown up on the tour bus with us and seeing the concerts and seeing the Screaming Girls and all that kind of reactions
he
outside the
think about
hotel
that?
and stuff like that.
Has he soaked in who his dad is and what
He
the
gets
Backstreet
it.
Boys
He
are
gets
to pop
it.
culture?
He totally does. I mean, he's all over YouTube. He actually has his own YouTube channel, James the Great, because he's and all
James
the
the
fans.
Great?
Yeah, and all the fans have seen my house. They've seen backstage. They've seen everything because he's like Mr. Show Everything on the tablet. But the funny thing is, my youngest one, he's 5, and I can tell he's just now at that phase of like, I'm kind of getting this, but I really don't get it still. It's like, these fans, we just left the hotel to get lunch, and we're back at the hotel, and they're still outside again, and they want another picture. Like, what's changed, Dad? You just gained a pound or 2 from eating lunch? Is that the only thing? But they love it. They soak it up.
Can I ask you, I'm sure Jackie could contribute to this, what is the craziest fan story that you guys have ever seen? I can only imagine. What comes to your mind when I ask you that?
We have a couple of them. But probably in the early days over in Europe when we first started over there, I remember one that we've told several times is we were over in Germany, because Germany is kind of where the Backstreet Boys started. They were the first ones to embrace us 25 years ago. And so we spent a lot of time over there, probably about 3 years before we started having success around the rest of the world. And so it was our first experience of, you know, true fan, you know, craziness. And then being at the hotels, then being at the TV stations, the radio stations. And one night we got on our bus and we had a bag call normally an hour before. Bags went down, and security a lot of times will throw the buses, and the bus driver will throw the stuff in the base. And somehow or another, I guess they weren't paying attention completely to the door. And about 3 o'clock, as we're already in our bus, on our bunks, already going to sleep, our manager goes over and feels a leg next to his bunk.
Get
No.
out.
A couple of girls had stowed away on the bunk.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
And they were there for like 4 hours before they finally they were just quiet as can be.
Oh my
And,
goodness.
Needless to say, the bus had to pull over and
Did they
made
get
sure they got back
arrested?
home.
That is what. What about now? Are there
So
any?
scary.
Yeah. Are there any elder millennial fans?
Why are
that
you
still,
pointing at me?
You know what? We the concerts, believe it or not, I think it's kind of crazy because you think, okay, now they were teenagers and now the decimal of their pitch might be a little bit lower, but it's not. It gets as high as can be. They're still throwing bras and panties, and we're like, we don't need any more. We're all married men.
I only have so many. I'm not doing that tonight, okay,
my
guys? I only got a few.
don't need any more. They got plenty of clean ones back home. It's all good.
Yeah, no, I'm a mom now. Those days have passed. Yeah. But I am bringing, my dream in life really was to marry a Backstreet Boy, and I did not accomplish that, obviously, but I did the next best thing. I married a Backstreet Boys fan. So we're all going tonight. Colton's coming. Yep. We're pretty excited.
I'm third wheeling tonight.
He's third wheeling tonight. We're bringing our producer, Britt, so it'll be a good time. But we did get a Facebook Live question. So again, keep bringing those Facebook questions coming at us. Nikki wants to know, of course, being here in Boston, we have a lot of love for the New Kids on the Block.
Oh, we do too.
And yeah, are you guys going to go back on tour with them?
Well, actually, there's been some talks about that. You know, now the last time we did the run together, Kevin wasn't around. So, you know, ideally we're talking about let's now get 5 on 5 now.
Yes.
And do it properly. Not that it wasn't done properly last time before, but now it gives us more of another reason to do it. So there's definitely, I mean, for us, I mean, I'm not sure if they're finishing their tour, if they've already finished, but we're still like kind of midway through our tour, and then we're going to go from here to Southeast Asia, Japan, and then hit South America. So our tour, which I'm sure just like theirs, is going to probably last about 2 years. So it probably wouldn't happen like in the near future, but we still keep in touch with those guys. Anytime, you know, we're in Boston, if they're around, we try to catch up with them. Some of them come to our shows. Anytime we're on the road somewhere where they're at, we try to support them and stuff like that. They're great guys.
You go to Novara, Jordan Knight's restaurant here?
Oh, has he got a restaurant here?
Yeah, he's got a restaurant. You got to go there. It's good.
Oh, okay.
Good pizza, good pasta, good cocktails.
Good to know. All right, I'll have to get some support to him.
Now, before we were live on Facebook, you were saying you went to Legal Seafood last night with Nick Carter.
I did. We had to get us some Boston lobster and some clam chowder while we were here.
What did Nick order?
He had a full-on lobster. I had a baked lobster. And
anything surprising that we wouldn't know about the Backstreet Boys? I mean, I feel like we know almost everything because you guys have been so open over the years, but anything surprising?
Wow, I don't think there's anything that the people don't know yet. Between Teen Beat, Tiger Beat, every single beat you can think of has been out there. Questions, I think, you stumped me on that one. I really feel like there's nothing that's private anymore about us.
Okay, well, if you think of it later, you can just post it on Instagram.
Okay. We got a pretty interesting Facebook question just a second ago. Rich wants to know if it's true that you voiced Santa Claus on Dora the Explorer.
I did actually many years ago. It's out there somewhere. I don't know how it was. It was a Spanish Santa Claus, so I sang Feliz Navidad.
Oh, cool.
It was like, it was a cute moment. It was actually, looking back on it, that was the times when we were like, you know, getting Nickelodeon calling us, and we did some voiceover stuff for, what was it, Arthur, if I recall correctly. It was one of the other things that we did, animated stuff. We've done some comic books and stuff like that. So this was very natural for me to want to eventually get into doing a family project with this little CD, and actually have a musical that's coming out of it as well.
Is there anything you haven't done that you want to do?
Maybe some serious acting in some movies or some, you know.
I could see you doing that. Yeah, let's talk about this musical. It's going to be opening in Omaha, Nebraska.
That's correct.
I know a lot about them.
Appreciate it very much.
And so what is that going to be? It's going to be like the album comes to the stage?
So when we were writing the album 5 years ago, and it was loosely based around my life and the issues that I went through, the writers I was with, they were like, we were writing like, this should be a musical. It's a story. It's a journey of a kid finding his place in this world, his identity. And so we finished the record probably within like 2 months, and then we focused on making the musical. Little did we know we were writing a musical backwards, because we had all the music done first, and then, you know, most musicals you write the words, the story, and then you go into a song. Well, we were trying to make a story fit the music. So when we did several rewrites on it, I think there's about 4 songs that are actually in the musical from the CD, but it totally has a whole new face to it. But it's still loosely based around my life as a little kid. And I wanted to put it out there, and we got very blessed that Omaha, the theater there, the Rose Theater in Omaha, Nebraska, reached out to us and asked us to premiere it there at the end of January and early February, and I'll be acting in it and premiering in it.
Will you be coming to Boston?
I would love to one day. Like I say, I think we're now just the first place is Omaha, but obviously we would love to come to Boston, to New York, to West End and London if possible. I just got to work around this little Backstreet schedule that's kind of going on right now.
Yeah, I know, all this, you know,
touring
with the Backstreet Boys. So any surprises in tonight's concert that you can kind of like tell us about? Anything cool that we should be watching for?
I'm very impressed with the production of this show. I think we've taken it to the next level that is really going to surprise people. A lot of the lights, a lot of the animation, but we're going to take everybody on a trip down memory lane with all the hits for the past 26 years. Plus, we got some sprinkled in some new stuff off the new DNA record, and I think we've done it in a clever way to get in quite a few songs in there.
26 years, is there ever a point of your career that you wish that you could go back to, or are you really happy with where life is now?
Good question.
That is a good question. Wow. You know, there's definitely some stuff that we went through, you know, legal issues in the early years that, you know, it's public knowledge, and we have a documentary out there called Show 'Em What You're Made Of, and we've obviously, our stuff has been dragged throughout the news in the past years when we've had legal issues with management and record labels and stuff like that. But overall, I feel like, you know, everything's happened for a reason to make us the group who we are now. And so I kind of like, I guess everything was a learning lesson.
Absolutely. We are getting a lot of Facebook questions. So what are some of the Facebook, they were talking in my ear, but I almost couldn't understand a few of them. What?
Keep rolling them in if you're watching on Facebook. I know a lot of people are chiming in.
Yes.
And we'll get your Facebook questions on. Do we have some?
Yeah, Brittany wants to know, do you have any pre-show rituals?
Pre-show rituals?
Ooh.
Me or the group?
Let's say the group. Does the group?
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
we'll do both.
Yep. Actually, we get together about an hour before the show. Kevin's normally one of the first ones in because he likes to take a full-on shower and get all ready and everything, stretched out. I do a vocal warm-up. I'm in charge of pretty much playing the iPod with the Backstreet warm-up that we've done for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
And hopefully, if it doesn't get played and turned off by Nick, like just being a prankster, we'll get through it all together. And then we get dressed, and I have hot tea, normally always in an emergency. We do a group prayer, and then we go on stage.
Do you listen to any hype music? What's the playlist before you go out
When
on
you're
stage?
not listening to Backstreet Boys, what do you listen
Well,
to?
when we're not listening to our warm-up CDs, that's normally what's happening is Nick's trying to get us into out doing la 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 all that stuff. And so he'll be playing some like hardcore metal and stuff like that. And I'm like, it's not exactly my style, but I'll go along with it. But sometimes we're like, we actually do meet and greets before the shows. And every night we do that for about an hour with our fans. And every night's a different genre of music. And so it kind of gets us hyped up as well.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Any other Facebook questions?
Jillian wants to know, what's your favorite song to perform live?
Oh yeah.
What's your favorite song to perform live?
My favorite song to perform live? Well, normally my favorite song throughout the past 20-something years.
Can I guess?
Go. I would love to see actually how.
Spanish Eyes? Because it's your solo one.
That would be my favorite song, but that unfortunately never makes the cutting room floor.
Why?
Because it wasn't one of the main singles.
I loved it. So if you want to
I
just
know.
sing it tonight to me, my husband won't mind.
She says as her husband is watching right now.
Hi.
No, but probably would have to be All I Have to Give. That's
a good
one of my favorite songs from the early days. But we've done the hat routine again.
It's coming back.
Oh, did I get away with a
will it
surprise?
happen?
Oh my God, I've been talking about it. What are
wait,
the chair
Did I get away by chance of surprise?
Can you do it? You did it.
Yeah.
A little, but
You learned
the
it?
chair dance, I used to know it back in the day, but I'm wearing a dress right now and I am a lady, so I will not do that. But nonetheless, the chair dance and the hat dance were very exciting, and the everybody, you know.
might see that too in there.
So
Yep.
exciting.
You know, Boston loves the New Kids. What's your favorite New Kids on the Block song?
Actually, you know, in the early days, believe it or not, when I auditioned with the group, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think I either sang "Please Don't." I think I said "Step by Step." But we were all big fans of the New Kids on the Block. I mean,
Yeah.
I admitted in many interviews many years ago, I sent in a cassette tape to Maurice Starr, trying to see if I could become somehow another sixth member of the New Kids on the Block back in those early days.
And you tried to get into Menudo too, right?
Yes, that was one of the reasons why I really decided I need to learn Spanish, because as a little kid, like I was saying to you guys about the no hablo español scenario, I was 14 years old, was very close to getting a Menudo, had several callbacks, and because I didn't know Spanish, it cost me the opportunity.
I mean, I think it worked out.
It worked out okay with this Backstreet
Yeah,
Boys.
exactly.
Highest selling boy band of all time.
Not too bad. Oh, that's too gracious of you to say.
Yes.
Who's the boy band that you kind of see out there right now that you're like, oh yeah, they're doing something
Or
right?
just artists in general.
Yeah.
What would you like to work with?
Oh, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars.
Sam Smith.
Yeah.
I remember talking about him many years ago in Europe before he came to America, and getting the guys, including Nick, when we used to do our own after parties and we DJ. I'm like, you gotta play this song, Money on My Mind. He's like, I don't know about that kid. He's like, scoot over. I'm like, I tell you, this is gonna be big. And next night he came over to the States and won like several Grammys and stuff like that. But huge fan of them. Adele, believe it or not, huge fan of Sade and Maxwell, going back many years ago. But I like all
Great.
different types of music.
So we have another Facebook question. Mary wants to know, what city are you most excited to visit on tour?
Boston, of course.
Good
Of course,
answer.
good answer.
Good answer.
Do you think we're going to see a new kid, pop up in the concert tonight?
You never know.
Special
this
guest.
This is their town, so if they want to come, they're more than welcome. I got a couple tickets I can probably still give them if they need it. You know, I got some connections.
You know, we could just call Jordan right now, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Joey, any of them.
You got the numbers?
I mean,
Jackie's
I
got the
probably,
numbers, right?
I don't have his number, but I probably could get in contact before the end of the day. I mean, this is, you know, we're local. We're here.
Yeah.
This is our home. So, you know, any other questions before I?
Keep them rolling in. We should also tease, too, that coming up here in a few, we're going to play Are You Smarter Than a Backstreet Boy?
Oh, let's play that.
And it will be
wow.
Jackie versus the Backstreet Boy.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, wait, do we have some more Facebook questions? We're good right now? All right, so let's play our America's favorite game show. Are you smarter than a Backstreet Boy?
Wow.
Okay, here we go.
With the Backstreet Boy. Jackie versus Howie D. We ready? The first, let's see, your first question. In what year did the Backstreet Boys form?
1993, April 20th, 1993, in Orlando, Florida.
Your answer?
She took the words right out of my mouth.
What is the highest selling Backstreet Boys song of all time?
I'll give you a chance, but I want it that way.
Okay.
I want it that way?
Your answer?
I want to say I want it that way too, but I might say, as if not, a secondary might be Quit Playing Games.
Oh.
The correct answer? Everybody.
both are
See,
fun.
that's my favorite, but everybody loves I Want It That Way.
Yeah.
But no offense, it's actually not my most favorite because I
Which one is
feel
your
like
most favorite?
I love everybody. We love Get Down.
Okay.
And I think The Call, Larger Than Life. I mean, I have so many. The
Thank
list
you.
is
You'll hear them all
long.
tonight. You'll hear them all tonight.
Next question. What was the Backstreet Boys' debut album called? Jackie.
Backstreet Boys.
Okay. You can say it out loud.
I don't want him to
That's
give away
right.
my answers. Backstreet Boys.
I think
Correct.
that's correct.
Which member left the band in 2006?
It was really hard for me, but it was
know.
Kevin. I know. I
Me too.
loved him.
It was really hard for me too.
Who is the youngest member of the Backstreet Boys?
I know this too.
Nick?
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
You know this?
Nick.
You got it? Yeah. Which members of the band are actually cousins in real life?
I know this too. Kevin and Brian.
What?
Wow,
Who-
I am
what
impressed.
is this?
I am so impressed.
I cannot deal with this. Which song? Now we're gonna get tough. Which song?
Hanging tough?
Yeah.
No, just a second.
Which song are these lyrics from? Every little thing that you've said and done to me feels like it's deep within me.
Ooh, 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 doesn't even matter if it's on the run. Feels like it's meant to be. I don't care who you, come on, sing with me. Who
Where
you
you're
are
from.
what
You got
you
it.
do, as long as you love me.
All right,
I had to
you
think
guys.
about that too. Actually, I was gonna have to sing that
I
song.
think it's safe to say that you just dethroned the Backstreet Boy.
She did.
No, he knew.
No.
Does this get me into a meet and greet tonight?
Possibly. Where's security?
Oh, it's security.
Who else is in town tonight performing? No, just a second. Just a second.
Oh, okay, so my husband actually has written it on Facebook. Thank you for watching, Joe. Joe Finley, my husband, would like to know, do you have any foods that you like to eat during the tour?
Oh, I am actually a foodie when I go on tour. Like I said, that's why yesterday this trip wouldn't have been complete for me without having some lobster, some clam chowder. I got to get me a, what we were just talking about earlier, a lobster roll for sure before I leave out of town. But everywhere I go, I try to get like, you know, what's the towns are known for. Like when I'm in New York, I'm definitely getting a slice of pizza. When I'm in Chicago, I'm getting a Chicago deep dish pizza or a steak,
absolutely.
you know. So I turn into a foodie. Actually, I even have on my Instagram, I have Howie Eats.
I saw
and
that.
it shows like in different places. And I was so bummed last night that I didn't get a picture of the lobster. I think I had that one beer, and that one beer
There
made
goes
me
my
not
phone.
think
It's
about
okay. I don't need it anymore. Howie touched it. It's all good.
Keep those questions rolling in on Facebook. We're hanging out with Howie D of the Backstreet
Yes.
Boys. Are you guys working on new music? Do you stay creating for the band?
Oh, they do.
Yeah,
They
I
do.
mean, we are constantly like fiddling around with different ideas and stuff like that. We have a couple of songs that weren't actually on this record that didn't make the record that we felt like were really, really great songs, but we're still talking about how creative ways that we might be able to get them into maybe movie soundtracks.
Yeah.
We did a re-record of some of our biggest hits that we've got still planned to come out. We still want to work on a Christmas record we got plans for.
I need that.
Yeah, what about it? So I also have a radio show that airs on a country station here. What about a country album?
Yes.
Well, this album, DNA, at one point was almost going to be a country album.
Really?
Yeah, because we had an awesome collaboration with Florida Georgia Line, which I was so glad to see that we played here.
Yeah. I mean, with Nelly at Fenway,
yeah,
that show was
great.
insane.
Yeah,
the
it was
energy
amazing,
at Fenway that night
Yes, we've had the opportunity, the blessed to do that now twice with FGL and Nelly, and with the New Kids on the Block. So
I was
it's been
incredibly
amazing.
pregnant at that time. It was very. I couldn't
the new
make
kids
it.
one,
The
it was
only thing that
raining
kept me
that
from you,
night.
Howie, was that I could not walk. So.
I love it. But yeah, so we've actually, that record, after we did the collaboration with Florida Georgia Line, a song called God, Your Mama and Me, we were approached by their management and their label to see about doing a country record because of all the love that we were embraced from the country market.
Yeah.
And we won a CMT award. And so we started really recording a lot of stuff in the country vein. And then little by little, it seems like that's why we call the album DNA, because our roots are a mixture of a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
It was hard to escape not wanting to do a little bit of pop music in there, wanted a little bit of dance, not a little bit of R&B. So we said, well, let's just put it all in there. And so we have the song called No Place, that is one of our, it's actually the third single on the album that's been getting some country love. And so we're spreading our roots.
What do you listen to in the car when you drive?
Mostly my kids in the back, yelling at each other. No, just kidding. I'm actually the bus driver when I go to school. When I'm back home, I wear all different hats. I clean the dishes. I do the bus.
You bring the
driving.
kids to school? I mean, do the moms
yeah.
like freak out when you are dropping off the kids to school?
The first year that they were there, they're like, this is really interesting.
But now you're just
but
Howie
now they're
from
just
around
like,
the block.
whatever. They're just like Howie's here, in his.
We also got a Facebook comment. Andrea, I believe, is watching right now. She just wants a shout out while we have a few more minutes.
Hey, Andrea. It's Howie here from the Backstreet Boys.
Andrea, yeah.
Thank you for the support.
Keep those comments coming in. We have just a few more minutes here before we sign off with Howie D. A Facebook question right now.
Okay.
If you weren't a Backstreet Boy, what would you be doing?
If I wasn't a Backstreet Boy, I probably would still be trying to do something in the entertainment business, whether it be doing a solo act or trying to do some acting. Like I was saying to you guys earlier, when I was a little kid, growing up in Orlando, since it wasn't New York or Hollywood or even here in Boston, you guys have a lot of entertainment stuff here. You had to pretty much do a lot of, anything you could just to get your break. I worked at Disney, just like Kevin. I did Universal Studios. I did a lot of acting as a little kid and Nickelodeon, and very close to getting a Mickey Mouse Club at the early ages and stuff like that. And so I always had a passion still to want to do some acting. So I would love to maybe do some acting as well one day.
Hold on, one nerdy more question. You worked on the Mickey Mouse Club. Do you have any stories?
No, I got very close to being
very close because JC from NSYNC was on it.
Many years
Britney
after
Spears,
I was
Justin
around.
Timberlake. They really missed out. They should have casted you.
And can you confirm for me, there was always an urban myth when I was young that Ryan Gosling was almost in the Backstreet Boys. Confirm or deny?
It was a myth. It was a myth. Actually, AJ and him did coincidentally live in the same complex area when AJ was just started with the group and he was in the Mickey Mouse Club. I think all the Mickey Mouse Club kids lived in this complex that was close to Disney Studios. Yeah. And AJ would be playing basketball, and sure enough, it was true. One day he was out there on the basketball court and he was talking to this guy named Ryan Gosling, and he said, they were saying, what do you do? And he's like, I'm a Backstreet Boy. And the guy's like, yeah, whatever. He's like, good luck with that, kid. And AJ, and it's funny because we used to think that AJ was just telling us a big, tall story. And finally, we did see an interview where Ryan Gosling did admit that he was talking to this AJ many years ago. He's like, yeah, good luck. He's like, little did I know I would be, biting two of my own words here many years later. But he's like, they did really well and gone on great success. Well, but it was cool.
Dude, we love you, Howie. We cannot thank you enough for
guys
coming
Big
out
side
with us.
coming tonight.
I mean,
thank you.
Jackie and I will have giant signs that say we love Howie.
Yeah, thank you. All right on.
New favorite for sure.
That is right. The DNA Tour stops tonight in Boston. Jackie and I are going to be there.
We're going to be there.
Right on.
And,
I'll be there too.
Yeah, Howie's new album, Which One Am I, is out now as well too. Don't forget, you guys, for more of what's happening in and around New England and beyond, you can find it NECN, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So make sure that you follow us. Bye, you guys.
Bye.